Hello, StoryDivers. It's almost time. Time for Halloween. Don't forget the big giveaway at 9. Alright, you got me. There's no giveaway. But make sure to wear your masks while watching this video. If your head suddenly caves in and snakes start coming out, I am not legally responsible.
Okay, I'll stop that now. But it is time for Halloween, and I wish I had time to make a longer video centered around the holiday, but I've been eating too much candy, drinking too much pumpkin spice beer, and watching too many old, and what I consider to be underrated Halloween films. I thought I would let you in on some of these and recommend my personal top 6 underrated Halloweeny movies to watch on Halloween. Let's get started. Number 6. The 1986 film The Worst Witch. Yes, there is the recent Netflix adaptation of the original novels by Jill Murphy and the 1999 series, both of which have much better production values and arguably less hammy acting, but the original 1986 made-for-TV movie starring Fairuza Balk, of later The Craft fame, has so much indelible charm, not to mention a very 1980s nostalgic Halloweeny vibe.
Show the world. Let them know it's Halloween.
The story follows Mildred, a young witch and new recruit at Miss Cackle's Academy for Witches. Because Mildred can't seem to get anything right, she is constantly picked on by her teachers and more popular witches at the academy. But she may be the only one who can save the school from a plot to turn everyone in it into frogs. This film is definitely aimed at kids and pretty damn cheesy at times.
Tell me, little girl, how'd you like to be a two-headed cockroach?
But it will remind you what it was like being a nerdy kid at an all-girls witch boarding school. Or any school. And according to me, no Halloween is truly complete without Tim Curry as the Grand Wizard singing his Halloween song.
Anything can happen on Halloween. Your dog could turn into a cat.
Number 5. The 2007 film Trick or Treat. This R-rated anthology horror film has slowly gained recognition in the 11 years since its release. But in 2007, it was kind of thrown under the bus by Warner Brothers, who relegated it to a straight-to-DVD release. The plot is a series of intertwining stories centered around Halloween, including a little homicidal costumed thing, a serial-killing principal, a coven of werewolves, if there is such a thing, and some undead trick-or-treating children seeking vengeance from their killer.
Trick or treat.
While this film can be considered scary and somewhat disturbing in places, its real charm is its dark sense of humor and frequent subversion of expectations. The various stories are cleverly woven together in a Tarantino-esque non-linear style, and all include a season-specific scary vibe.
Help me, goddammit! Help me! Will God!
Number 4. The 1993 made-for-TV special The Halloween Tree. Ray Bradbury is considered by many to be one of the greatest American novelists, particularly in the sci-fi and horror genres. His 1972 fantasy horror novel, The Halloween Tree, is perhaps the most Halloweeny novel ever written, and in truth far exceeds the 1993 cartoon adaptation. However, because the story is so much fun and such a great tool for getting you into the mood of the season, even the low-quality animation of the cartoon can't hinder it. The story follows 4 kids who are led on a journey to the heart of Halloween by the mysterious Mr. Moundshroud. The stakes are raised when they realize completing this journey may be the only way to save their sick friend.
1,000 Halloweens wait out there to swallow us whole.
This animated movie is aimed at children, but can help adults find their own Halloween spirit. The fact that the screenplay is adapted by and the narration is recorded by Ray Bradbury himself also makes this a must-watch for Bradbury fans.
Twice times 1,000 glares of fresh-cut eyes. Each blink held the remnant holiday spirit of years gone by.
Number 3. 1993's Hocus Pocus. Okay, this one is cheating a little, because Hocus Pocus has an undeniable cult following at this point, but it is underrated in the sense that its Rotten Tomatoes score is 30%. Did 70% of critics have their head up their ass when this came out?
Listen to them not!
The film begins in 1693 Salem, Massachusetts. 3 witches kidnap a girl in order to absorb her youth and turn her brother into an immortal black cat. The witches are soon caught and hung, but cast a spell that will resurrect them when a virgin lights a special candle on All Hallows Eve. Cut to Halloween night 300 years later, the obvious virgin Max lights the candle while attempting to impress his crush, Allison, and unleashes the witches. Thus he, Allison, Danny, his little sister, Thackeray, the immortal black cat, and Billy, a zombie dreamboat, must stop the witches before they absorb the souls of all the children in Salem. Yes, the plot is a bit convoluted, the story is a bit predictable in places, and the performances of Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Kathy Najimy are totally over the top.
I suggest we form a calming circle. I am calm!
But this film is so chock full of Halloweeny goodness. It's set in the iconic Salem on Halloween, it has witches, black cats, black magic, brooms, and zombies. And most of all, it's fun. Number 2, the 1982 film Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. You might have known this one was coming. Halloween 3 might be the most divisive horror film in history. Fans either love it or loathe it, and it is also on many underrated horror lists. For me, it is a great watch during the season, but before watching it you should know 2 things about it. Number 1, it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. And number 2, the plot is completely guano crazy. If you can accept those 2 things, it is a fun watch, albeit a completely insane one.
They're fun, they're frightening, and they glow in the dark.
The story follows Dr. Chalice, who, after failing to save a shop owner, decides to help the shop owner's daughter, Ellie, solve her father's murder. The pair soon realize the murder has something to do with Silver Shamrock, a company that created the Halloween mask found on the body. So they head toward the Silver Shamrock factory in order to uncover its diabolical scheme. While this film is a hodgepodge of crazy elements put together, most of which I won't spoil in this video, it actually is centered around the holiday of Halloween. In fact, it has more to do with Halloween and its origins than the first Halloween film, which was simply a great slasher flick set on the holiday. I should warn you though, that Silver Shamrock jingle may stay on a loop in your head permanently after watching this film.
Gather round and watch. Watch the magic pumpkin. Watch.
Number 1, the 1988 film Lady in White. This one is another cheat because I also included it in my list of films that fans of the movie It should see. After a completely unnecessary flashback intro, the story follows a 9-year-old aspiring writer, Frankie. On Halloween night, Frankie is locked in the cloakroom of his school by bullies, and witnesses a child's ghost reenacting her own murder. After narrowly escaping his own murder, Frankie must discover the identity of the killer, and solve the mystery behind the ghostly vision, the Lady in White. This film does have story and pacing issues, but it has a few great things going for it. Namely, it takes place in a beautiful upstate New York town in the 1950s, and really captures an Americana in fall feel. It also captures the creepy excitement and atmosphere that every kid feels during the season. And while this film is aimed at kids, and I saw it as a kid, some of the scenes still scare the crap out of me. So those are my picks for underrated Halloweeny movies to watch on Halloween. Please let me know what Halloween films you think are underrated, or simply what films you feel fit the Halloween season. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the upper right hand corner of the screen for more Halloweeny themed videos. And don't forget to like the vid and subscribe to the channel, or support the channel by donating on Patreon. Until next All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve has become a night of frolic, where children wear costumes and run amok.